friends and family, it's Jade from the San Diego Children's Discovery Museum over in Escondido. And today, for our world culture activity, I am going to be talking about something called Pareidolia. So Peridolia is the tendency to see patterns in things that are totally random. So when you look up at the sky when there's clouds, you might make out things like animals or silly things like food. And if you look up at the sky at nighttime and it's a full moon, you might see something like a man in the moon, like we see in Western culture, like the United States. Well, did you know that in other cultures, they might not say that they see a man in the moon, because they might say that they see like a rabbit or a frog or other things like hands. So I'm going to be showing you just some of the things that other cultures see when they look up at the moon, and it's called Lunar Peridolium because lunar means the moon.
The craters in the moon have different depths and sizes. If you look carefully at a full moon, do you see anything special? Throughout history, different cultures have created amazing stories and legends about what shapes they see in the moon. As we'll see in a minute, people who live in the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere actually see the moon at completely different angles. In a lot of East Asian cultures, moon gazers see a rabbit. A folklore that originated in China says a man from the moon came down to Earth and he was very hungry. He met a kind and generous rabbit who offered to let the man eat him. The man in the moon liked the rabbit so much he carried the rabbit back to the moon to live with him. In other cultures, people see a frog or a toad. The frog in the moon is a myth shared by African, Native American, and some Chinese folklore. In one African version of the myth, a great king wanted his son to marry the Moon King's daughter, the princess of the moon. No one knew how to get the message to the king and princess on the moon, but a frog volunteered to take the message. The frog knew that the Moon King's daughter traveled to Earth every night to gather water from the frog's pond. The next night, when the Moon King's daughter showed up, the frog hopped into her bucket and traveled with her back to the moon, where he told the Moon King that the Earth Prince wanted to marry the Moon Princess. Another interesting lunar pareidolia is from the indigenous Polynesian people of mainland New Zealand, called the Maori. They live in the southern hemisphere, and that means that they actually see a moon that is upside down from the moon we see in the United States. In Maori culture, they talk about seeing a woman in the moon. Her name is Rona. In a folklore, Rona was carrying a bucket of water when she tripped and then she got stuck on the moon forever. The Maori people say that when it rains, it's Rona's bucket of water pouring out. And of course, in Western culture, we usually say that there is a man in the moon. Some people think he looks a little bit like this. What story did you like the most?
I hope you learned something today about Lunar Peridolium. What do you see when you look up at the moon? Well, if you liked this activity and you want to know more, you can visit us on our Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram accounts. Or you can just come visit us at the museum. We would love to see you. See you later!